What's going on, y'all? It's your man, Stephen Bardo, coming at you with another edition of Bardo's Breakdown. I hope you guys are doing well. It has been a long season. I finished up over the weekend. I had got called in from the bullpen, no pun intended, did a couple radio games for the Bulls, and then had my last Bucks game April 1st. I don't even remember what day that was, maybe Thursday or Friday, something like that, with the Clippers. And so it's been a long season, y'all. I'm coming in to the finish line scraping, you know what I mean? Just got a lot of things in. It was a great season for me, the best season I've ever had, with the additional NBA responsibilities. End up with about 32 NBA games. 25 with the Bucks, another 7 or 8 with the Bulls, in addition to the normal, the normal college load. So I got a few games in this year. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity. Grateful to my partner Lisa Byington for opening up that door, at least for the Milwaukee Bucks scenario. So with all that out of the way, Dallas Illini gal, good to see you. Lurdell Parker 23, RY 11 Shea, what's good? Yes, I know David Robinson, Artez 1982, Jackson Beth 11, Gailey Tucker, always good to see you. Thanks for joining. Let's get into it, y'all. The national championship game is coming up probably in about 2.5 hours, something like that. We've got a blue blood national championship, Kansas versus North Carolina. I don't think most people are surprised that Kansas is here, but I think a lot of people are surprised that North Carolina is here. The line right now has Kansas favored by 4 points, but of course that could move before the tip. I don't anticipate it moving much. But that Vegas right now has Kansas as a 4-point favorite. So let's get into it a little bit. Key matchup, I think. The players to watch. Ochai Agbaji from Kansas and Caleb Love from North Carolina. Now, these guys play similar positions. They're both wing players. They're outstanding. But what I think is going to happen, Agbaji is going to be guarded by Leaky Black of North Carolina. He's a 6'8" forward. He's their best defender. So Leaky Black will probably get the nod against Agbaji, the outstanding two-guard for Kansas, who has been lighting it up. He made his first 6 shots in the semifinals against Villanova. I believe he was 8 of 9 from 3. And he's been shooting lights out in the Elite 8 and the Final 4 game. So Agbaji is one to watch for North Carolina. He will more than likely be guarded by Leaky Black of North Carolina. Now, Caleb Love is hotter than Agbaji. Caleb Love is outstanding. Hit the three, the dagger. That was the game winner for North Carolina over Duke. Also, if you remember the Elite 8 game, or was it the Sweet 16 game? It was the Elite 8 game against UCLA, where Caleb Love went nuts in the second half, caught fire. So Agbaji and Caleb Love are the two guys they're the key matchup. But I don't think that Caleb Love and Agbaji will be guarding each other. Now, Agbaji will probably guard Love on the defensive end, but when they flip it, I believe Leaky Black will get the assignment against Agbaji, because Caleb Love is far too critical for North Carolina's success. And North Carolina, ladies and gentlemen, really doesn't have they're not playing with a lot of depth. They probably have capable players, but Hubert Davis has chosen to really tighten up his rotation. So they play really 7, possibly 8 guys. If you really want to, nitpick and whatnot, Carolina's not very deep. Kansas has much more depth. When you look at Christian Brown, DeJuan Harris, David McCormick, Mitch Lightfoot, we're not even talking about, Remy Martin. These guys have a lot more depth, in my opinion, Kansas does, than when you look at North Carolina. So, the guys that we're looking at for North Carolina really step up. Brady Manick has been outstanding throughout the tournament. 6'9" guy can hit you inside out, can stretch the floor. He's been a dynamic player. We talked about Leaky Black, the defender for North Carolina. He doesn't score a whole lot. R.J. Davis has quietly been outstanding for North Carolina as well. He really bailed them out against Baylor, no pun intended. Had his best game in the tournament versus Baylor when Caleb Love fouled out with like 8 or 9 minutes left in the game. And I believe Carolina may have still been up 16 points. And Baylor had that furious rally to get the game into overtime. R.J. Davis was outstanding in that game. But outside of Love, Manick, R.J. Davis, and Baycott up front, North Carolina they've really ridden basically those 4 guys, Manick, Love, Davis, Baycott, to the championship game. Now they're in the championship game, and here's what I want you to consider, guys. What's up, JYD, Jerome Williams? North Carolina has been the underdog. Let me make sure. North Carolina has been the underdog in 4 of their 6 games run to this national championship run-up. So North Carolina is used to being in this underdog role. I think they cherish it, as a matter of fact. They really they cherish this role as the underdog. So keep this in mind. Tar Heels have been underdog in 4 of the 6 games in the national championship run in March Madness. The ones that I could think of obviously would be St. Peter's and possibly their first-round matchup. Who was that against? The team that they matched up against in the first round is escaping me. Those are the 2 games that they were favored. Outside of that, they were the underdogs. So I think they're very comfortable in this scenario. What to watch for? I kind of hinted on a little bit. David McCormick up front against Armando Baycott from North Carolina. McCormick had a really good game last game against Villanova. They utilized his size, and he did a fantastic job against Villanova. He also played well against Miami in that Elite Eight win that Kansas had over Miami. He established his presence. He didn't score a ton, but he had a good game for him because Kansas had really not gone to McCormick exclusively to set himself up on the post. So David McCormick versus Kansas big versus Armando Baycott from North Carolina big. Armando Baycott has been outstanding. I believe he's had at least 17 rebounds in each of the last 2 games when North Carolina needed the most. But Baycott injured his ankle last game against Duke, so we're going to have to watch out for that. Also, I referenced it just a little bit earlier. North Carolina's lack of depth, especially up front, could really play a key role in tonight's championship game because Baycott has been holding it down on the interior. If he goes out with foul trouble or that ankle isn't 100% or he re-aggravates that injury, that could spell doom for North Carolina up front because Baycott has really been the force up front. Mitch Lightfoot on the other side for Kansas could probably start for a lot of these tournament teams, but he's coming off the bench. He's playing his best basketball of his career right now, coming in, spelling McCormick up front. So those are the things that I want you guys to watch out for. And keep this in mind now. There's a couple things I want. These are the intangibles that I'm going to get into the conversation, but I want you guys to keep in mind, okay? That North Carolina win over Duke was an incredibly emotional victory for North Carolina. My man, Brendan Kaminsky, who has his own social media firm that does a great job of, some of the biggest names in college basketball work with Brendan and his company in terms of how they post and what they show on social media. Brendan had a great pieces of footage because he's in New Orleans. He's got floor level seats. He had Brady Manick and his family celebrating after the Duke victory. Brady Manick was in tears of joy because they were able to beat Duke yet again, not only in Duke's last regular season home game at Cameron Indoor, but that very emotional 81-77 victory in the semis over Duke. So is there going to be an emotional letdown for the Carolina players because it was so much hype around that game. So much about Duke and Coach K, and can North Carolina pull off the victory again? Yes, they did. But will they be emotionally spent? That's really something to keep an eye on, okay? Also, Hubert Davis, I think this was, I don't know if he was a junior or senior, but Hubert Davis, his North Carolina team in 1991 lost in the title game to North Carolina. It was a 79-73 victory for Kansas. They beat North Carolina in that game. How will Hubert Davis, I know he's a coach and they're trained. This is his first year now. They're trained to lock in on that game and that game alone. But guys, come on, JYD. My man JYD knows a little bit. Jerome Williams knows a thing or two about players and their emotions. Now that they're coaches, can you just put that? Can you compartmentalize that aspect of your experience? Let's see, because I know if I'm the coach at University of Illinois and I'm playing Michigan in the national championship game or Final Four game, that memory of Michigan beating us in the last second putback by Sean Higgins, I don't know that I can compartmentalize that. We'll see. So those are two things that I think are going to be key, that will be little nuances that I want you guys to pay attention to. Nate MC Smith, 2005, what's up? HBJ, next level, good to see you. Brandon Emrick, what's up? B Houston 34, what's happening? MT Wall 71, what's good? North Carolina big man ankle could be huge if he's not 100%, says Artez 1982. He won't be 100%. This will be Carolina's 42nd game and Kansas's 41st game of the season. All of these guys aren't 100%. None of these guys are 100%. They're all banged up. And when you bang, you twist an ankle the way that Baycott did at the end of that Duke game, he's nowhere near 100%. Now, can he play effectively? That remains to be seen. He can be not 100% and still be very effective, but he's not going to be 100%. I guarantee you that. Tony Janega, good to see you. Meredith Evans, what's good, Meredith? Williams Enterprises, good to see you. Dallas Illini Gal, what's happening? I'm curious to see if Kansas Center has a big game tonight. He was great against Villanova, says Tarun Reddy. Here's the thing, Tarun. Kansas is going to go to their strengths. Villanova's front line, they didn't really have a front line. They did, but they were undersized and no depth. So McCormick goes at them because the front line of Villanova they couldn't get in foul trouble, or it would have been a blowout. So Kansas handled them anyway. I like the way that they really established McCormick. They said, look, you better score when you touch the ball. Don't get on the bus. Stay here. You're not coming back to the hotel with us if you don't score in the post. And he was able to score in the post. Nora Blanco, 1971, thanks for joining. North Carolina must not fall behind and see Baycott and see how Baycott comes around, says Captain Fletcher. I agree with that. I want to see, a lot revolves around Baycott, and can he keep up with McCormick and Lightfoot up front for North Carolina? Is that injury going to slow him down? Will it slow down his effectiveness on the glass? Because he's been, by far the best player on the glass throughout the NCAA tournament. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Coach Dave Davis, good to see you. Based on your view of the tournament, how will officiating influence the championship game? Bench play would be huge if the officials don't let them play physically. Typically, national championship games, they let them play. They're not going to be calling touch fouls. The officials will be talking more to the players because they're trying to keep them in the game. They understand that nobody came to see the officials in a championship game. So believe me, whoever the officials are, I believe it might be Bo Borowski. I hope Roger Ayers is one of them. And I hope Keith Kimball is one of those, because those are three of the best officials that I think of the game. There are several others that can call the game as well, but I hope those three guys or some combination. Paul Sells is a great one, in my opinion. Rob Riley. There's several officials that I would like to see call national championship game because, one, they have the demeanor to deal with the players and coaches. They have the respect of the players and coaches, and they're good at what they do. So I don't think the officiating is going to have anything to do with the national championship game because they get graded and they advance just like the teams advance. So if they've done well through the tournament, they'll be in the championship game. So I don't think that'll play a role at all. Let's see. Chuck Ramey. Oh, this is interesting. Where you going next here? Coaching matchups. Now, this is a good one. Let's talk about who has the advantage in terms of coaching. Now, on the surface, it would appear as though Bill Self would have the advantage in terms of coaching. And I love Bill Self. I'm just going to put it out there. I developed a personal relationship with Coach Bill Self when he was the head coach at Illinois. And I was the radio analyst for the Illini during that time. And I really love Bill Self. I do. Now, you're going to be surprised when I say this. I think the coaching matchup, I think Hubert Davis has an advantage in this because Kansas fans, they have not been pleased with Bill Self as of late. He's got a tremendous amount of pressure on him to cut down the nets tonight. He's not going to lose his job if Kansas doesn't win. I think he's a great coach. I don't think, Kansas fans want national championships. I get it. I think there's far more pressure on Bill Self than there is on Hubert Davis. And Hubert Davis shared something in a post-game interview that was very interesting. When he was in the huddle late in the game against Duke, I believe it was a tie score. And the thing that came to Hubert Davis's mind when he went back into the huddle was to remind his players that we have been here before. We've been here in these scenarios, and they laughed. If you get college kids to laugh in a pressurized situation, they will respond because now they're loose. They're not concerned with everything else. You brought them back to the center. You brought them focused. You reminded them that they've had success in this scenario. Bill Self has done the same thing. I've seen him do it with Illinois teams. But will he feel pressure in that scenario? Now, just on a flat-out coaching situation, I definitely give the nod to Bill Self. But in this scenario, this is going to be interesting. Hubert Davis is playing with house money, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody expected Hubert Davis to get to the national championship game. Nobody, not even him. I guarantee you. If you were to even ask him in mid-February when North Carolina started to play some of their best basketball and they started finding their rhythm and their way, if you ask him, is this a national championship team? I'm not sure if he would have thought that they would be. Now, would he said they've been a Final Four team? Probably, because with Caleb Love and his explosive offensive ability, Brady Manick's ability to really affect the game in so many different ways, Baycott, one of the best bigs up front, sure, Final Four caliber team. But if you were to ask Hubert Davis and those early losses that North Carolina sustained, would he think that they are a national championship team? Probably not. So on the surface and just theoretical coaching advantage, I'd give it to Bill Self. But in tonight's national championship game, I give a slight edge, believe it or not, to Hubert Davis because ignorance is bliss. Hubert Davis, this whole run are first. He's never coached in these scenarios. He's been assistant coach when North Carolina won a championship, so he knows how it goes. But that 15 inches from the assistant coaching seat to the to the head coaching seat, oh, baby, there's about 150 degrees difference. There's a whole big difference. When you're giving input as opposed to being the decision maker, that's a lot of pressure, right? So I think ignorance is bliss. And I'm going to go out on the line and say, you know what? In this particular scenario, with all of the pressure that Kansas fan base, the administration, the school, because Bill Self has built up some of these expectations because he's been so good for so long. And a lot of Kansas fans think that Kansas choked in the tournament. He's got a lot of that to overcome tonight. So it's a tough one for me because I love Hubert Davis as well. I know Hubert. I don't know Hubert as well as I know Bill Self, but I know both of them and love both of the guys. I'm ecstatic for both of them. But in tonight's game, with all that, you know, I'm bringing to the table and I'm thinking about it, I'm not, I don't know. I think I'm going to give a slight edge to Hubert Davis. I want to hear what you guys think. 15 Kiso, good to see you. Al from Al and Pal Show, what's good? Arthur Cox, I think that's you. What's up, Arthur? Kenny McReynolds. Kenny, I saw you at the Bulls game, brother. I was working, man. I couldn't break free, but I hope you're doing well, man. Good to see you on here. Is Bill Self on the hot seat if he doesn't win this game? It's been a decade since they have won. That's what I'm alluding to. No. I mean, are you on a hot seat if you get to the national championship game and you don't win? I don't think so. Will the Kansas fans have something to bitch and moan about? Of course, because that's what fans do. But no, he won't be on a hot seat. I want to let's talk about this real quick. Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead and put that up, Tony. Give us a little of your vibe on the tradition of the teams in the Final Four. When was the last time we've seen this level of tradition in the Final Four and championship game? Says Coach Dave Davis. Well, Duke, if we were, let's go with this. Villanova's been a mainstay in the Final Fours and national championships here in the last, let's go 7 years. Okay. So the traditions of Duke, North Carolina and Kansas are cemented. We know that. These are blue bloods. So my vibe on that, you know, they're blue bloods. You expect these programs to be at this level. Is it good for college basketball? Sometimes. I think this season it's been good that Kansas, North Carolina find themselves where they are. I do. I think St. Peter's had a run that captivated the casual fan, that cemented the legacy of March Madness. But I think overall, this championship game, you know, could there be some other teams in there? Of course there could be. But I'm pretty good with where it is. Donovan Lang, what's good, brother? Good to see you. Good morning, I believe, to you over in Singapore. Always appreciate you joining. Let's see. Captain Fletcher believes Remy Martin is going to be an X factor for Kansas. He very well could be. He'll be the best scoring guy off the bench that we'll see in this tournament. You know, I want to hear who you guys have. Who do you like? I like Kansas. I just think they have too many weapons. Remy Martin will be good. I think the player to watch out for who is going to clown tonight, I like Jalen Wilson. I think that he's not been talked about. He's a walking double-double machine. I think McCormick coming off the win against Villanova, the way he played, the way Abaji shot the basketball in a dome situation is key. I think, and I also think Jalen Wilson's skill set will get Kansas over the top. If everybody plays the way that they're supposed to, let's say Caleb Love has his 26-28. RJ Davis is outstanding for Carolina. Brady Manick gets his 18-20, and Baycott is his usual self. And then you flip it to Kansas. Obaji gets his. David McCormick plays his tail off. Christian Braun plays his second or third fiddle, and Jalen Williams goes off. I got Kansas and Jalen Wilson in the finals. Remy Martin will be a factor, I think, but I believe that Jalen Wilson is that man that if he has a great game, then Kansas wins. Kansas could win by double digits if he has a great game. If he has a good game, I still like Kansas to cut down the nets. It's been a heck of a run for North Carolina, but Kansas, there's really no weakness that you can attack Kansas. Every team coming up in the March Madness run for North Carolina, there was a way to attack. Duke's youth, I thought, showed down the stretch. Carolina's playmaking ability won over in that one. So I like Kansas. I got UNC, the diaper dandy coach, says Sean Raw. Okay. I mean, a 4-point spread, ladies and gentlemen, that's not a big spread in a national championship game. So for those of you that are thinking that Carolina can win this, they could very well win. I'm not saying I don't see a scenario where they can't win. I could see North Carolina winning this game because Caleb Love has had some second halves that will go down in NCAA tournament history. So don't get me wrong. I would not be surprised if North Carolina won the game. But my choice, I like Kansas in this one. Who else you got? Kansas by 7. Okay, I like that. I don't say this often, but I hope Kansas wins. Jill Brown Smith, who is in the Illini. Donovan Lang has Kansas by 3. Who else, guys? Let's see who else you got. If you want to join the inner circle of the tribe, text me 312-847-2739 or go to Bardo's Breakdown page on Facebook, and you can like the page, which almost 9,000 people have done, or you can go to Bardo's Breakdown group and join the group. There are 1,200 people in there, and I like to give tidbits and behind the scenes looks and things. So if you want to be a part of that, by all means. Now I got a question before we wrap up. Billy Rennick Montgomery thinks the Tar Heels. Okay. So we got about a split where we think Tar Heels and Jayhawks. This is good. Donovan Lang, as I already said, has Kansas by 3. Now, I want to ask you a question real quick before we wrap up. I've been covering the NBA all season long. This playoff is going to be ridiculous. Do you guys want me to do some NBA stuff? Do you guys want me to cover the NBA playoffs on Bardo's Breakdown? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments, please, as we wrap up. Let me know. Would you guys like to see me do some NBA playoff coverage on Bardo's Breakdown? Captain Fletcher says, yes, sir. Let me hear from you guys. Would you all want to see me cover some NBA playoffs on Bardo's Breakdown? Yes or no? Prophet Great, good to see you. Prophet Great, let me know if you want me to cover some. How you doing? Okay. Let me know. Let me see. Chuck Ramey, yes. Sean Raw, yes. Yes. Thomas Dagley said no NBA. There's another Facebook user says no. Okay. I got a yes over here. Mark Covington says yes. All right, I got more yeses than no's. I'm kind of surprised I got a few no's on here. I must have some hardcore college basketball. Kevin Wolf would love to get your take. Yes. Okay. All right. I think this year's NBA is going to be sensational, says Chuck Ramey. I agree. Dallas Illini gal would like to see the Mavs. Ooh, the Mavs looked good yesterday against the Bucks, didn't they? Luka Doncic, y'all. Ooh, wee. Yes. All right. So I'll come back and do what's up, Michael? Good to see you, babe. I will end up doing a little bit of college basketball is true basketball, not NBA, says Thomas Dagley. Thomas Dagley, let me explain something to you. The best basketball in the world is at the NBA level. You can be a college basketball fan, but you don't have to crap on the NBA because you, for whatever reason, don't like the NBA basketball. NBA basketball is the best basketball in the world. It's not even close. So you may prefer, I think you prefer college basketball because of different situations and scenarios that really don't have to do with the beauty of the game. So I like people who like basketball, but I don't like people who will say, oh, college basketball is it and NBA is crap. because you sound ill-informed. The NBA is a beautiful game. Like I said, there's probably some other issues there that don't have really anything to do with the game itself. It probably has more to do with certain things that you may not like about the players or the structure or something that doesn't have anything to do with the game itself. Because anything that you could say that you don't like about the NBA, I could give you an equivalent for college basketball. Hey, what's up, Kim? Congratulations, Kimberly, on your engagement. I saw that ring. I got cold over here when I saw them diamonds. So congratulations to you. You made a lot of brothers upset over there. But the game is pure. I don't like the extra step in the politics. Thomas Dagley, what politics? Oh, I get it. Fair enough. That's fair. And thank you, Thomas. See, this is what I like on Bardo's Breakdown. We've got real people who have real stances. I get it, Thomas. And now I totally understand. I get it. You don't like the extra step and you don't like the politics. Okay, fair enough. Thank you, though. And I want everybody, if you've got strong stances like that, or you have something that you really stand for, share it with us. Because I'm all about the conversation and discussion. That's how we all learn. I'm not going to poo-poo what you say or get upset at it or anything like that. So Thomas Dagley, thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate you sharing that. That means a lot to me because, again, we're trying to promote conversation and discussion. There's no hate here. We don't hate on anybody or anything. I may not agree with you, but that's okay. Because you all probably don't agree with some of the things I say, and that's okay too. We're above that the fray here. We're college basketball fans. We're fans of the game in general, in particular college basketball fans, and to a lesser degree NBA fans. I love the NBA like I love college basketball. I have been blessed, ladies and gentlemen, to call NBA games this year. I got to call the defending NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks. And if you got to sit next to my play-by-play partner, Lisa Byington, on the 25 games that I called, you would understand that Giannis Antetokounmpo will go down as one of the best players to ever play this game. You would see the brilliance that is Drew Holiday. I liked Drew Holiday before I got a chance to see him up close and personal, but oh my goodness, he's a Hall of Famer. I said it. Drew Holiday is a Hall of Fame NBA player. Chris Middleton is unbelievable. The skill level of these players at the NBA level, ladies and gentlemen, it's off the charts. I know that there are a lot of college basketball fans that think that they don't play defense in the NBA. That's foolish. They're playing hard defense. It's just these guys are so skilled. You think that the Clippers and Reggie Jackson, Paul George, Robert Covington, Zubats, those guys on the Clippers, you think they just let DeMar DeRozan hit 50 on them? DeMar DeRozan is sickly talented, unbelievably skilled. Zach LaVine, the games I got to call for the Bulls, you college fans would love to watch Ayo Dosunmu up close right now as a Chicago Bull. He is so fun to watch. His maturation into the NBA game. He is twice as good now as he was as a player at Illinois in only 1 year as a rookie. The ceiling for Ayo is going to be fun to watch because that young man is working his tail off. He's getting better and better. The NBA game is so beautiful, ladies and gentlemen, that I would challenge my college basketball fans who don't like the NBA, watch the NBA playoffs and watch the level of intensity, competition, and skill that these guys put on display. It's unbelievable. Donovan Lane said he's been a fan of Drew Holiday since UCLA. I'm telling you guys, he is a he's a savant. He's a basketball savant. He's unbelievable. Io's definitely getting his confidence at the NBA level. Donovan, you're exactly right. Always right on cue. Good to see you. Chris GESUS, thanks for joining. Hey, Terry Campbell, good to see you. McGinnis J, what's happening? Let me see who else. So, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. But I want you guys to enjoy the national championship. It has been a heck of a season for me, my best ever in terms of the college basketball assignments that I received, and now the NBA slate. I'm a little tired right now. I'm sorry I didn't finish with as much enthusiasm as I would have preferred, but my ass was dragging. I did over 80 games and some other stuff this year. It's been a unbelievable season. I'm looking forward to the national championship game tonight. I will not come back with a Bardo's Breakdown next week because I'm going on vacation for a little bit. I'm going to work with my man, Tony Gill, my executive producer, to bring you all the goodness. But thank you for tuning in to Bardo's Breakdown. I'll be off next week, but check back on Bardo's Breakdown page because I may do some updates on some stuff coming up this season. Thank you, Donovan. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate all of you all that tune in. Thank you for your support. David Lager says, go UNC. Always hard feelings towards Bill Self. I love it. Thank you guys, man. I love you guys. Enjoy the national championship game. Tune back into Bardo's Breakdown page for more NBA playoffs this upcoming NBA season. Love y'all. Holler at you later. Peace.